Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. We are super excited to do our regular, scheduled, normal weekly Dream Team Leadership Zoom. And you guys, if you're brand new and you're just catching us for the first time, we do this call every single week, same time, same link. So you definitely want to save this little reminder in your phone, a little alarm, so you don't miss these because they are so awesome. Not only do we get paid on Tuesdays with our paycheck, but we have this awesome Zoom with a different 200K that comes on every single week and shares their story with us, their tips with us. And I'm super excited because this week I have a 200K from our team on, Kayla Fox. And Kayla, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm here.
Yay! So excited. So Kayla, for those people that do not know you, maybe they live under a rock or something, I just, or they're brand spanking new. A lot of people do know who you are. You do this amazing Zoom in the morning that so many people have started plugging into that are crazy enough to be up on the Pacific time zone at 4 a.m. I'm missing them now that it's at 4, now that we went back an hour. I'm so upset. I
Yeah.
keep waking up at like 4:55. I'm like, I missed it. But I'm catching the replays. But you have this awesome Zoom that you've been doing Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays that are just so awesome in the morning. So if you guys haven't been catching those, make sure to plug in. But a lot of people don't know like your whole story, your background, where you came from, and how you got into this whole network marketing thing, and how you found Lavelle, and all of that. So let's start all the way back, share all that with everybody, and then we'll go from there. And I'll ask you for some tips.
Okay. So we are going to go way, way back. Like, guys, I've been in this since 2012. I celebrated 8 years in this industry last month. So there has been a lot of life that has happened. Whenever I first joined, I was 24 years old. My daughter was 1. I was a new teacher. I was in my first year of teaching. My husband and I, we had just celebrated our second wedding, like second anniversary. I was a new wife, a new mom, a new teacher. Like, I had just started this new walk of life. And I remember feeling like I was lied to. I was told, if you wait, if you go to college, if you get a degree, if you wait to get married, if you wait to start a family, like, life will be good. And that was the furthest thing from the truth. So like, I would cry all the time because we were like living paycheck to days before paycheck. There were days where we did not have money for lunch. And, there were days where Chad worked a night shift job at a factory and we would not see each other because of how our shifts were changing. Like, I worked days, he worked nights. And yeah, I mean, we were buried under student loan debt, and it just was not the life that I thought I signed up for. And I remember thinking, like, this is not what I want for forever. And I still remember that Christmas of 2011, right before I came into this. I was just crying. And I know Christmas is not all about the gifts, but I'm so happy Blakely does not remember that, because there was no presents under the tree. We could not even afford a Christmas tree. The tree we had was like one of those lit up spiral trees in our 1 bedroom tiny apartment. And I just remember thinking, like, what is happening? I'm a teacher. Like, I have a college degree. What is happening? And Chad, he was going to college during the day. And he said, I'm just going to drop out of college and get a second job. And that way we can pay the bills, because we were about to lose my car. And I said, no, you're not going to do that. He worked like 3 jobs to put me through school. He worked at a restaurant, he worked at a grocery store, and he worked at a fast food place just to put me through school. And so I said, no, that's like, I'll figure this out. However, trying to find a second job, that was going to make me pay more for childcare. And so it's like, I felt like I was in a lose-lose situation again. I thought, every penny I would make from a second job would just pay for childcare. I don't know what to do. And so he was going to the same college I went to. And so I told him, this is where you'll go to talk to the people, to talk about dropping out, to get, everything, all the paperwork done. Like, that's how close we were to him dropping out of school. And then my cousin, who was a hairstylist, called me about a product. And I said, I don't have the money, but let me talk to some teachers I work with. They were interested. And that is how I got started in this industry. It was 100% just like, I didn't know anything about it, but some people at school wanted it. And so I thought, well, I'll just join, get them the product, make my money. I needed $367 to make my car payment, or I was going to lose it. So I thought, well, I'll join, I'll sell it to those 4 people. I'll make my $367 and then I'll get out. Like that was the plan. Like I said, I had just started this life of a teacher, of a new mom, of a new wife. Like this was nowhere on my radar for a full-time thing. And so I joined, well, this first company I joined, the person called me and she was walking me through signing up, and it cost money to join. And so I hung up on her because I did not have any money. So I hung up and I was like, oh, sorry, bad service. I'll call you back some other time whenever I get good service. No, I was at my mom's house sitting on my brother's bed. Like I had great service, but I didn't have money. So Chad comes in there to me and I'm crying again. And he's like, what is wrong? I cried all the time in 2012. He's like, what is wrong now? And I said, well, it costs money to join this thing and I don't have money. And he said, we'll pawn my Xbox. So he pawned his Xbox, and that's how this is back when Xboxes were worth money, I guess. We pawned his Xbox, and that's how I got money to even join this industry. And I was too scared to post on social media, so I did not post on social media my entire first year. I was in houses. I built my entire business with in-home parties. My first one was at my mom's, and no one shown up. And I was like, well, this is great. Like, this is going to be what retires me. Like, no, like nobody's shown up. My mom was there. I had this awesome setup, but none of my cousins came. My aunt didn't come. None of my mom's friends came. Like nobody shown up. And so I messaged my leader and she's like, still take pictures and look like it's so much fun. Well, I'm crying again. Like seriously, 2012, nothing but tears. I'm crying again because I'm like, nobody's here at my mom's. So I take pictures to make it look like, oh, you guys missed out on so much fun. And from that, we ended up booking more parties. And I mean, for a little bit there, I was in, there's somebody going. So for a little bit there, I was just in homes. I mean, I know this is like way back, but this is like the foundation of how it all happened. I was in homes constantly, just doing parties, would not post on social media, hit a rank in that company that matched my teacher income. So I brought Chad home so he could go to college full time and finish that off. Still was not thinking of this as a full-time gig. Just thought, you know what, this will let him go to college, graduate. The company contacted me. They're like, hey, you're going to be in a magazine. I was like, that's cool. So my first social media post I ever made was me saying, I'm going to be in a magazine. I didn't say what I was being in it for. Nobody, like, I still see that status come up on my memories. I think 2 people liked it. My mom and my cousin. That was it. Like, I had no following. I had no network. Nobody was interested in what I was doing. My business was built with complete strangers. What I did was I used a thing called lead boxes, and I would take a tissue box and I would wrap it in duct tape, and I would take a little picture frame and it would say enter to win. And it had some before and after pictures on it, and people would enter their information in, their phone number, their name, their like a little checklist on what they were interested in. And I would leave those at convenience stores of however far I was willing to travel for a party. So usually within like a 45-minute radius, and I would leave them at restaurants and gas stations and stuff like that. So I was in strangers' houses all the time. This is how I built my entire business. Hit my 1-year mark, went to that first conference, and that's when everything changed. Whenever I saw people walking the stage, and I was like, and they were telling me that it retired them, and I was like, I'm good. I'm still, still a new teacher. I like teaching. And they said it retired their husband. I'm like, he's good. He's a full-time college student now. Like, we're okay there. But then they said it allowed them to come home with their kids. And that is what stopped me in my tracks, because just previously that I had missed my daughter's first steps. She was at her babysitter whenever she took her first steps. And so I thought, you know what, I don't want to miss any more moments. And I came home from that conference. I started posting on social media. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it for 90 days. And if I have any friends left out, because I was under the impression that everyone was going to delete and block me if I started posting on social media. So I thought I'll just do it for 90 days. And if I still have friends at the end of 90 days, then I'll keep doing it. Well, at the end of 90 days, it retired me from teaching. I did not sign my contract for the next year. My income like tripled my teacher's salary, so I retired from that. And then we moved 4 hours away, and yeah, so that's kind of like the foundation of how this entire thing happened. Now, fast forward to when I found Thrive, I was in one of my deepest valleys I had ever gone through in life. I just felt stuck. I was tired all the time. The money was good. That's something, we were making more money than I think we've ever made, but I was so just in a really scary spot. And I felt like I wasn't a good wife. I felt like I wasn't a good mom. I felt like I wasn't a good friend. I was not happy with the company I was with anymore. I felt like they were lying a lot. It just was not the same as it was when I began. And so I saw Amanda Arnett post about Thrive. And I thought, oh, it's just one of those weight loss things, like whatever. And I kept scrolling. And I had this horrible, belief about Thrive in my head. But then she posted on how it helps someone with moods. And so that's what made me reach out to her. And I was like, hey, tell me more about that. And I got a happy pack from her and I tried it and it kicked in for me on day 2. And by kicked in, I mean, I started craving water and had some energy. So I became a customer. When I got my customer shipment in, I had my mom try it, my husband try it, my friends try it. And I ran out on day 10 because I was letting everybody try it. But my experience just kept getting better and better and better. And by day 10, Chad, my husband, he asked me, what are you going to do? And I said, well, if I get 2 people to order, I get mine for free. So I'm going to have you and my mom order so I can get my stuff for free. And he's like, Kayla, you know so many more than 2 people. And so that's what kind of led us into looking at this as an opportunity. And I mean, guys, we came in and yeah, I mean, Arnett, yes, that picture, we sold that home. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I always keep chat pulled up. Probably not a good habit to have. But anyways, so we decided to join and all I knew was the happy pack is what made me leave a 5-digit monthly income to come here. So if a happy pack made me do that, then happy packs are clearly where it's at. So I had my entire team. I was like, y'all, all we got to do is get happy packs out. All we got to do is get happy packs out and we'll be millionaires. And so that's what we did. And within 30 days, we did $80,000 in sales. It was just crazy. And I mean, I remember hitting that rank and I think it was Jamie Pecca reached out to me because it was on June 15th and she reached out and she's like, okay, so 15 days, let's go 200K. But my mindset was not ready for that. I was still amazed that we had hit 80K. And so we did not hit 200K that month. We sold out, but it is 100% because I didn't have the belief there yet.
Sorry, I was trying to mute people out. I don't know what's going on today. People still are unmuting when they're not supposed to. So, I think that the coolest thing, how long did you stall out before you did end up hitting 200K?
A year. It took me 1 year after that to go 200K.
It's like so crazy because people, I mean, we all have a different journey, coming in and going 80K that quick is crazy. But then you have that kind of momentum and it's like, I love it because I mean, I've heard you say before, and so many other leaders have said before, like, I don't think we get to 200K till we're ready to go 200K. I mean, if that makes sense, like I like mentally every place, until we're actually like in that mind space to get there, because it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole new responsibility. And not only that, but I think there's a lot of people that come in and if they do start going fast, even, people that go 12K really quick or 40K really quick, and then they kind of, stall out a little bit. Maybe they even go backwards a little bit. That's where they kind of freak out. And that's kind of where they have to like, okay, let me get my head on straight. And we've got to keep moving forward because I will get there or I will get back there. Did you have like those moments of, oh crap, maybe I'm not going to get to 200K?
Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, I had left a company where I was making 5 digits a month. So there was a fear that came in whenever, we did those $80,000 in sales. And then some of the people that came with me that went 12K, they quit. Like they quit. They were done. Like they walked away. And so there went, I mean, like multiple, like 12K, 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 just gone. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, what? Like, what? What am I going to do? And so many fears came into my head, and my self talk during that time was so bad. It's like, why are these people quitting? Why are new people coming on and not working? Why are, and I was, we talk about, manifesting, and what I was manifesting was the complete opposite of what I wanted for my business. I was saying things like, my sales are going down, people are quitting, people aren't coming in and working, why is my team not doing things that I'm doing? It was just that kind of self-talk, that kind of manifesting. And it stalled us so bad. And I remember being so scared. And then it was getting on Zooms like these, hearing of others going through the same thing and being like, okay, wait. And then doing some massive self development, but being like, hold on, if they can do it, then so can I. Like, there's nothing that separates them from me than taking action. And so, yeah, that's kind of what happened during that year.
Right. And I mean, it like happens to everybody. Like none of us are immune to that place where we start feeling that, you know, panic, but I think it's what you continue to do, because if you would have just like stayed in that space, you wouldn't have gotten to 200K. And you did. And I think it's important that you pointed out, people that got you to 80K, a lot of those people were falling off. New people were coming in, and obviously something happened. New people signed up to take you from 80 to 200. Like in that period, those were the people that came in, they took you to that next level. And if you stop working this, if you stop doing all the right things that you have to do daily, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to keep moving backwards, and there's not going to be those people brought into your journey that are supposed to be there, that are going to take you to that next level. And if you start freaking out, then your team that is working, if you're concentrating on only the people that are leaving and you're not concentrating on the ones that are staying, then you guys never would have rallied together and brought in those new people that now brought you to a 200K and beyond team.
Yeah.
um so we've been in now 3 years. It's crazy. It's so time flies when you're having fun. Um, in this 3 years, what do you feel are like some of the biggest struggles that you have hit since going 100K? I mean, we know that first struggle of kind of falling backwards and having to get past that. What are some other things that you think maybe have been struggles for you that other people might be able to relate to?
Yeah, the biggest for me in the beginning, still sometimes, is comparison. I mean, we coach on it, we talk on it all the time. Like, comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare yourself. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. Like, we have all these awesome sayings for it. Doesn't matter. Whenever I see someone killing it and I'm over here and I feel like I'm putting in the work, and it's like, what is that? Like, why am I not seeing that? Why are they, and I see, they're just killing it. And so that comparison stalled me out for a little bit, because it was almost, I don't know, it almost slowed me down from doing the things I know that I need to do. And I've talked before about how we go through the different phases, how, their winning season may not look like my winning season, but as long as I keep planting seeds and I keep watering those seeds, I'll get to my harvest and I'll get to my winning season. I know these things, but in that moment, whenever I am comparing myself, it's like it all just leaves my mind. That's why self-development and these Zooms are so important. So you can be like, check yourself. Like, you're in that trap again. But anyways, I got caught in the comparison trap several times over the 3 years. And I just would have to, like I said, get on these Zooms, self-development, and get myself out of it. This year, I came into 2020, late 2019, I got into that trap again. And then in 2020, I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to keep my head in the right space. I'm going to put myself on the front burner. I'm going to invest in me with self-development, with growth, with all these things. I'm going to watch myself talk and what I'm saying. And one of the things that I started saying again that I had fallen off of was manifesting. We did that month over manifesting, and it made me realize, like, I need to get more serious with that again. And so I started manifesting, like, I'm bringing in promoters that are hungry. I have a team that is hungry. I have, And I started manifesting that and making sure my actions matched that. And I mean, these last 60 days for my team has been insane. This last week, we did a higher in sales this last week than we have since 2018. And like we have the virus going on. Like it's crazy. So I don't know what everyone's, teams looks like or whatever's going on, but I don't want anyone to get caught up in saying the virus is causing them not to see growth. We're seeing more growth since 2018, like more growth in 1 week. So, and if you could have seen where we were just a few months ago, it's such a massive growth. We have people coming in that are hungry. We have a team that is hungry, and we're really plugged in and leaning in, and it's just making the biggest difference. But yeah, comparison was one of them. Also just leadership, trying to figure out the leadership here. We have so many amazing leaders on this team where I came from, we did not. And so finding like my spot in leadership, that was a struggle for me, figuring out kind of where I fit in. And the whole 6 a.m. Zooms, they stemmed from that, because I was looking at all the Zooms that were going on, and I'm like, well, people's got Zooms like for every hour, every day, but not at 6 a.m. Central Time, not at 4 a.m. Pacific Time. So I'll just take that slot. And I thought maybe we'll get like 10 people on. Like, that's cool. No, we get like 80 plus on those early morning Zooms, and it fuels my fire. But it all stemmed from me realizing I've got to find a way for my leadership. I've got to find a way to fuel my fire. And I looked at, where I could plug in at, where I could, pour into people at. And so that was kind of a struggle for a while, was figuring out where can I be a leader, because there's so many other incredible leaders that I want people to lean into, but I want to do some pouring too. So how can I fit in? So that was something I had to figure out my way with, and a struggle that kind of slowed me down for a little bit too.
I think that's a good thing to point out, because I think sometimes people just don't know where. I think you got to do what works for you, figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, kind of figure out where you can offer value and still put it in. Don't let anybody else hold you back from putting in value. Um, and we do a Tuesday night self-development Zoom. You keep referring to it, so I thought I'd mention it. You guys, if you aren't plugging into it, it's so good. We have so much fun, but it's totally generic. Like, it's something you can invite anybody to, really. But it is a lot of people message us about it, so it's pretty successful, and it's just exciting to delve into different topics every month too, that we can like help people with. And hopefully, for a lot of people that don't ever self-develop, because I and I are so huge about self-development, hopefully those people that just are new to it or don't do it, it's a way for them to learn how to do it, which is kind of cool. I would love to dive into some tips, because you rock. Um, Gosh, I don't even know if we're allowed to say anything, but I'm going to say it anyways. Oops. Goat training. People, you guys are going to want to make sure that you plug in this Saturday. If you guys, unless you live under a rock and you are not getting the Lavelle emails, the goat training is going to be amazing. There's going to be a ton of announcements, but there's also going to be amazing, amazing leaders that were asked to train in the goat training. And Kayla Fox is one of those. You guys are going to want to tune in, because it's just fire. It's going to be fire. But I would love to just kind of get some tips from you on, especially now with COVID. Like, it's so crazy, because we don't know how long this is going to last. And like the normal things that we've always done, which you kind of have always built your business from, either obviously parties in the last company, but also you've also built your business through social media. And I think for, people like you that have always built through social media quite a bit, during this time, it's been easier to kind of navigate through, because you've always done it that way. And I think a lot of people think, well, I need to change things up, or I need to do it differently, because, oh my gosh, I've got to be sensitive to people. And what if they don't have any money? And what if I send a wrong message, and all of these things, right? I would love for you to share kind of like what you're doing, like some really strong, awesome tips that maybe people can take away from today and go implement into their business right away.
Okay, yeah. So I have an exact routine. I just do. Routines are what works for me. I am very predictable. If you get on my morning Zooms, you already know what my routine, what my schedule looks like. And I do not falter from this. I just don't. This is what works. I've been doing it for a couple months now. I have brought in several team members. This is exactly how I coach them to do it, and they're seeing success. I mean, we are having people enroll customers before their kits even come in. So that's what I'm about to talk to you about. But I will tell you this too. Watch your mindset right now, because there's two types of people. One type is, oh my gosh, I can't post about this because people are losing their jobs and, whatever, people don't have money, everyone around me is broke. Or the second type, that's like there's people on unemployment that's making more money on unemployment than they did at their full-time job. There's people that just got a stimulus check and they have an extra couple hundred. There's people that need this product in their life and they have the money to get it. There's people that need this business in their life that can make more than they ever make as a hairstylist, than they ever make as a teacher, than they ever make as somebody that works in a spa that is out of work right now and could use that energy and put it into this and completely change their lives. So like, which type of person do you want to be? I want to be the second type. Like, that's who I am. So make sure your mindset is right, because if it's not, then your excitement's not going to come through, your energy level's not going to come through, and you're not going to see your business grow during this time when other teams are exploding during this time. We have talked so much about comparing right now with a little economy dip. It's not little, with an economy dip, how this industry explodes. I'm not just talking about Lavelle. It's the entire industry that explodes when economy takes a dip, because people that would never look at this as an option are now looking at it. They're now looking at it saying, you know what, if this can just help me bring in an extra $300 a month to help me make ends meet until I can open up my salon again. If this can just help me make an extra whatever a month so I can, until I open up my spa, until I, that's the people that are joining right now. We know this. We're seeing it all across the board. So make sure you're in the right mindset. Now, with that being said, this is what my exact routine looks like every single day. Every single day I wake up, I go to usually Pinterest, or sometimes I get on Instagram and I search for inspo quotes, inspirational quotes, or I'll search for boss babe quotes, or on Instagram, I'll search for hashtag boss babe quotes, hashtag inspo quotes, and I'll find me some quotes that I really, really like. And one or two of those are put straight on my stories. So every single day I'm starting out with a quote. That's what it starts with. So quote, done. I put it on Instagram, and then I go in and I share it onto Facebook. I'm sharing it manually. I do not have them connected. This is 100% because someone said my views would go up if I did not connect them. So they're not connected. I don't have proof on if that's true or not, but that's why they're not connected. So I manually go through and I share that onto Facebook stories. Right after that is a video or a boomerang or a picture of the 3 steps: the capsules, the shake, or the patch. Today it is a video of me mixing up my shake. Yesterday it was a boomerang of me with my capsules. Sometimes it's a boomerang of my DFT, or them telling me which DFT I should choose. But it's showing the 3 steps. It's showing something I'm consistent with every single day. With that being said, I know there's people on here that cannot take the 3 steps. That's okay. What product are you taking every single day? Are you taking rest? If you're taking rest, then every night on your stories will be a picture of you, or a video or something of you taking rest. You want to create that predictability, because whenever you become predictable, you become trustworthy. So how are you going to be predictable with these products? For you, it's going to feel like, oh my gosh, I show them the same thing every day. That's how sales work. People have to see stuff over and over and over again. They have to be exposed to it in different ways over and over and over again. So on my stories, that's part 2 of my stories. And then I do some type of interactive feature right after that, either a poll or how all the interactive features are, where they can tell me if they're interested or not. And so that is on there. Sometimes I will mix it up and do some business slides on there to offer the business, and it will have an interactive feature at the end. But that is what my stories look like every single day. And then besides that, it's just behind the scenes. It's videos of my dog, it's videos of me cooking, it's videos of my daughter on the trampoline, it's like just whatever's going on in my life. So many people tell me they don't work stories because they have a boring life. Guys, we all have boring lives. We're all stuck at home because of the virus. Even celebrities are boring right now. Like, it's the world. So don't let the fact that you feel like you don't have anything to put on stories hold you back. People want to see, what are you watching on Netflix? People want to see, what are you eating? People that's what people want to see. That's what causes you to become relatable. So show that behind the scenes on your stories. And then we mix and thrive with doing that same morning routine every single morning. I promise you, works. It just does. And then as far as posting goes, every single day, I really aim to do 3 posts, morning, noon, and night. 2 of those posts are going to be lifestyle, which means that they're going to show who am I, what am I doing, where am I going. It's kind of like past, present, future posts. It's showing where I came from, where I am now, where am I going. So I really try to aim to do those twice a day, and then a Thrive post once a day. And it may be a Thrive post that's not like, look at this before and after picture. It may be kind of more along the lines of, thank you, Thrive, for giving me the mindset I have now. Thank you, Thrive, for giving me the energy I have now. So still maybe a lifestyle, but it's still showing Thrive through it. Sometimes it's 100%, here's a before and after picture. Like, does this look like you? So I mix it up with that, but that's what my posting looks like. You've probably heard me talk about the core 4 before. Part 1 is posting, and that is how I do my stories and my statuses, is with posting. And I do that every single day. Part 2 is messaging. You have to get into Messenger. Every single day, you have to be talking to new people about Thrive. You just do. I feel like people have such a weird stigma on this. I don't know why. People are not hateful to me when I message them. People do not delete and block me when I message them. I don't know. Like, I don't cold message. It's not like I add people and then immediately message them. I have that connection with them, but you're not like, people are not going to be hateful to you for messaging and just saying, hey, this is what we've got going on. Do you want the details? So you have to message every single day. Right now, I'm messaging for my VIP list, just saying, hey, we've got a new product reveal coming this weekend. We have a compensation plan announcement coming this weekend. And we have another huge surprise that they won't even tell us any hints on. Do you want to be on my VIP list just to be first to know? They're like, yes, 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 yes. Everybody tells me yes. So their name goes down. I'm going to be set up. Y'all, whenever those announcements come Saturday, I'm going to have my list of 500 ready to go. I'm trying to hit millionaire status over here. Like, let me have my list of 500. Let's go. So that's how I'm messaging right now. But every single day I am messaging. I sign someone right before this Zoom. You have to get in Messenger. That's where the millions are made. Part 3 of Core 4 is expanding your network. You have to grow your network. You are not going to get to that next level, whether it's 4K or any of the ranks, whether it's millionaire, whether it's multimillionaire, like, doesn't matter. You are not going to get to that next level with the same network that you have now. You're just not. You have to expand your network every single day. One of my big ways of doing it right now, which is a little different, is I have people post for me. And whenever they post for me, it's something like, hey, my girl Kayla is looking for 3 people that want to lose weight before summer. And they have a before and after picture on there, usually mine, because if you have one of your own, use your own, right? But hey, my girl Kayla is looking for 3 people that want to grow their hair out during quarantine, and a picture of hair growth with our hair product. And as they get people to like and comment, I go and add them. And then that's how I'm expanding my network right now. I know immediately with me adding them, they're already interested in Thrive. They're already interested in what I have to offer. Clearly, the person that posted for me before their friends order, I go back to them and I'm like, hey, look, your friend's about to order. Do you want to make an account first so they can order under you? Because we're paid the same off our referred customers as we are our own customers. So why not? So that's how I'm expanding my network a lot right now. I have expanded it through groups as well, by asking questions. I'll make sure that I'm in groups that I actually are interested in or am interested in, like Golden Doodles. I have Golden Doodles, and so I'm in Golden Doodle groups, and I'll go in there and ask a question like, how do you clip their toenails? Everybody wants to tell me how to clip my Golden Doodles toenails. I have no idea why, but they all want to tell me how to clip them. And so as they comment, I add them as a friend, and I send a message saying, hey, I hope it's okay I added you as a friend just in case I have more questions about Golden Doodles in the future. They're like, yeah, for sure, no problem. And so by going into a group and asking a question, because everybody wants to give you their opinion, everybody wants to tell you how something is done, you are going to have a ton of comments, and then just adding them and saying, hey, I hope it's cool I added you just in case I have more questions in the future. They're going to accept it. It's not weird. And remember, this is why we post every single day about behind the scenes, because whenever I make a post about my Golden Doodles, all those people from the Golden Doodle group, they're like, oh my gosh, yes, that's how I relate to her. Or all the people that I added from my cheer mom groups, whenever I make a post about Blakely doing cheer, and they're like, oh yeah, that's how I relate to her. So that's why we post every single day. It all goes hand in hand. And then part 4 of the core 4 is follow up. You have to follow up every single day. At one point in my business, I thought follow up was just for Fridays. It's not. I follow up every single day. I have my 5 subject notebook where I have all my potentials in there. So every single day I am messaging for follow up. I'm a big believer in timers. So I set a timer for interaction. Interaction is huge. I set a timer for new messaging, people I've never talked to about Thrive before. And I that not never talked to about Thrive. There's a difference. And then I set a timer for follow up. And so those are kind of the 3 different timers I set every single day. But for follow up, it's just messaging and exposing them to something else. So I may message them and say, hey, I'm having an event tonight. There's going to be giveaways. I just wanted to see if you wanted an invite to be one of my VIP guests. That's an exposure. I'm exposing them and giving them that third party validation because they're going to hear from someone else at the party, an online event. Those are huge right now. Seriously. Like, have y'all not been invited to like 50 Pampered Chefs, 30 Usborne books, and 20 unique, like I'm invited to online parties like crazy right now. But they're having more interaction than ever because people are craving that community. People are craving to be part of something. So online parties are massive right now. Anyways, sometimes I follow up and I expose them to inviting them to an online event. Sometimes I message with follow up and I expose them to posting for me because then they can see like a potential promoter and they've been kind of, distant and they're not sure and they're kind of nervous. Then I'll help them post for me. And whenever they see all their friends that are interested, that pushes them over the edge to be a promoter. Once again, I'm just exposing them. That's what my follow-up looks like. Sometimes my follow-up looks like, hey, I have a lot of people getting their happy pack today. I just wanted to see if you wanted to grab yours. That starts with FOMO. Hey, I have a lot of people grabbing their happy packs. And then it ends in a question. You keep it very simple, very brief with follow-ups, just very brief, end in a question. But also with follow-ups, I do mix in just, hey, how are y'all doing during the virus? How's everything going? How's your kiddos? Things like that. So that's what my follow-up looks like. And I follow up every single day. Whenever my timer goes off, I put a line of where I got to. And the next day, whenever I start that timer, I start there and I follow up for as long as I can until the timer goes off again. What I hope you're hearing from all this is I am extremely intentional. You are never going to regret being extremely intentional. You are never going to regret setting yourself up for what you know is coming this weekend. And something I just started putting into place is a nightly routine. I'm real big on morning routines. I just started putting into place a nightly routine. So I'm in control of how I start my day and I'm in control of how I end my day. Y'all, one of the biggest growths I ever saw in this business was whenever I started focusing on how I start my day. Do not pick this up whenever you first start your day. Don't. You are going to react whatever's on the other end. And it doesn't have to be business. Like the other day I checked it before I should have, and I saw the tragedy that happened in, was it Nova Scotia? Like I saw that tragedy. That was not the mindset or the energy that I needed to start my day with. So do not pick this up until you practice your gratitude, until you plan out your day, until you meditate, until you think about, things that bring you joy, and then pick it up, because then you're ready for whatever's on the other end. That's how I start my day. But I've just now started focusing on how I end my day. And that is looking like, in my notebook, I write down every like and comment that I got on any post, including non-Thrive. Because if you're liking and commenting on my non-Thrive posts, I know you're seeing the Thrive post too. I just need to expose you a little bit more. I just need to make you more curious. I need to make you excited a little bit. And I need to make that connection in Messenger pretty fast, non-Thrive related, but we need to work on relationship because you're watching all my other stuff. You're showing me love on all my other stuff. I need to switch that over. So every night I write down every like and comment that comes from my posts. And I do a reflection on how my day went. And then I practice gratitude again right then. Just what am I grateful for that happened that day? And then I go to sleep. So that's pretty much what my day looks like.
It's so crazy because I've noticed like posting, I think for everybody it's different, but I've noticed that really my business growing has nothing to do with my post as much as it does with me being in Messenger. Like that's where I'm making the connections. That's where I'm building the relationship. That's where people are saying, so what do you do? Or that's where it's coming up. It has really nothing, like, I think we always think about how do we make the perfect post and how do we draw attraction, and we kind of like almost paralyze ourselves, and we end up not making posts at all because we want it to be the perfect post or just don't know what to post. Guys, I'm telling you, it's all in Messenger right now, like just connecting with people. And that's one of the ways that I've been doing it, Kayla. Like I get up and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go through. Like I started with the A's in my Facebook friends. I have 5,000 friends, so I'm only on, since this quarantine started, I think I'm on F's, but I'm going through slowly and I am just going, oh my gosh, how are you doing through this? I haven't talked to you in forever. How's your family? And some of those conversations go further, some of them don't. But that is where, it's like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, have you lost your job during this? They'll ask me the same thing. Sometimes it comes up first. So it's just so huge right now. I think we have to know that the millions is in Messenger. That's where the million lies. The $1 million lies in Messenger. And stories. I mean, you're so good with stories, you guys. If you are not like buying on Kayla at all, she is a great one to kind of spy on and look at her stories. And, it's good. Like your stuff is so good in stories. And I think stories is something like you have to slowly learn because you can watch. I was like the other day, I was like, why does this, my first one has like 5,000, the next one 200. I'm like, okay, I am not keeping people's attention. And I was looking at yours and I was noticing your numbers don't go down as much. Like more people stick through to watch the whole story. And I like how you like make things a story. You know what I mean? In your stories, it's kind of like a slideshow. I think it's so cool. But I also think that, with us bringing in people right now and asking the question, like, not asking the question, but when people are ready to get started, I've had a lot of people that are like, okay, I don't really have the money to do this, but I want to do this. Um, have you had that too? Like, are you,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just like curious as to how you're starting someone out. Cause I had somebody ask me that the other day, Lisa, I've got a lot of people that want to do this for free. How would you best guide that person through that process?
Yeah, for sure. So, real quick before we get off the other topic, guys, I want you to understand you are marketing to a moving parade, not a standing army. So, you sitting there thinking everybody knows that you do thrive, everybody knows what's like, that's not true. Think about how Facebook works. It's not showing everybody your posts. So, whenever you get into Messenger, just like Lisa said, people are asking her if she lost her job. And she's like, really? Like, I've been in this industry for how long has it been since I had a job? But people just don't get it. Like, they just don't. So, anyways, just keep that in mind when you get into Messenger. But yes, I have so many people that, they do want to get started, they don't have the money. And so here's some different options that we kind of run with. We do have where they can get the credits, 6 credits for $72. I know that's USD. So convert that to wherever you guys live. I have people that can't afford a kit, but they can afford 6 credits for $72. And so they use that to get their business launched. I've had several people do that and they get those mini experiences out and now they're thriving for free. Now they're getting their stuff for free every month. There are people that's getting those mini experiences, they're tagging them, and they have people that are now interested. So they're bringing in customers, they're bringing in promoters, and they're stemming it all from those 6 credits. Do they have product on hand? No. Some of them, they will send one of the credits to themselves by sending it to like their workplace or a friend or family, and then getting it from them so they can have product on hand. But some of them don't. Some of them sell out those 6 mini experiences, make that money plus profit. Y'all know how that part works. And, it takes them a little bit, but then they get the $200 kit or the $400 kit. And they get to that point where they can do that. But they start off with credits. I have other people that have to start off completely for free. We do not change how they're launched. They still go straight into the team page immediately. First thing we do before anything, we add them to the team page, we tag them in the training videos, and then we say, let me know as soon as you're done watching those videos. As soon as they're done watching those videos, that's whenever we help them make their first post. That's when we help them. I have a stories album on my phone. And so I send them my entire album. It's like 80 pictures. And I'm like, save these in your album. Like make a new album, title it stories, and save it there. And so immediately I'm coaching them on how every single morning grab an inspirational post or inspirational quote that means something to you. Then take a picture, like get on, if they don't have product on hand, get on Facebook, find a picture of capsule shakes or patches, put that on there, put that on your story. And then immediately after that, share a couple of before and after pictures, or share something from your stories album and put an interactive, feature. I'm going to help you follow up with every single person that takes that poll, or every single person that shows interest. I help them make their first post. I help them follow up with every single person that likes or comments. We don't change much just because they're having to start off for free, because if they come in and they're hungry, I can help them see success. If they come in and they're expecting handouts, they're not going to get it. Whether they get a $400 kit or they come in free, if you come in and you're not going to put in the work, you're not going to see growth, period. So yeah, we don't change much on how they're launched, on whether they come in for free or not.
Sorry, my phone. I was in the chat part and I'm like trying to switch back and press
You're
mute.
good. You're good.
I think that, I mean, you've given so many freaking tips today. I think the biggest thing that I hope people are doing right now is they're realizing what we have our hands on. Because I mean, I just think about my situation, your situation, being a teacher, like we would have needed something like this. And for somebody not to be out there sharing right now and posting and letting people know, look, this is an opportunity for you. I mean, it's payday today. And, in about, you know, 12 minutes, we're all going to get paid. And when that happens, it's okay, you guys, to it's not bragging to go on Facebook and say, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. This is what this having this weekly check come in, this is what it's doing for me. Whatever that is for you, you guys. It doesn't have to be huge. In fact, those aren't really even the posts that people relate to. It's the ones where it's putting grocery in your fridge. So it's those things that people take notice and go, I need that right now. I need something weekly coming in on top of what I already have to help out. So don't be scared to do that. Be proud of what we do, and be excited about what you have your hands on, especially right now. I think it's just so huge that more than ever, like I have the urge to share this than even 6 months ago. Like I'm so much more excited to share it, just because I know there's people like you and me, Kayla, out there that just need it. They need it. They might not know it yet, but they do. They need it. They need it bad. So when it comes to self-development, because I know you and I are both huge on this, obviously, I think during this time, and this is stuff we talked about on Tuesday nights, but man, this time it's hard for people. I mean, not just for our businesses, but personally, like just being stuck in the house, not being able to, where some people are trying to homeschool their kids, like, and I think sometimes people don't understand how important it is to make sure that you stay personally in a good mental space, because we're all going to have bad days and we're all going to get in negative mindsets. And I know for a fact right now I've got, people on our team messaging me daily, like, just in such a bad headspace.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a bad headspace because they feel like their business isn't growing or they can't sign anyone. They're kind of, what we've been talking about this whole Zoom, they're kind of feeling that, analysis paralysis type of thing.
Yeah.
But what are like I mean, I'm not saying we're pros at it, but what are some like really good tips that you could give people self-development wise that could maybe pull them out of a funk?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, real quick, before I do that, too, I just want to tell you guys, for those that are today's payday, for those that are not getting paid yet, share other people's stories. One of my favorite stories to share is like Lisa being a waitress, becoming a millionaire, Chas being in corporate America, becoming a millionaire, those types of stories. Even with me having a success story, it doesn't matter. People need to see other people they can relate to. So even if you're sitting there and like, well, I'm not making money yet, guys, even the people that are making money, we have to share other people's success stories. That's part of the business. And so don't let that stop you. As far as the others that are just feeling stuck right now, guys, stuck is a choice. I'm always going to say this. Feeling stuck is a choice. Pick a direction and start moving there. Like, period. You have to sometimes make yourself do things you don't want to do, but you need to do them. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. And you need to add people to your network every single day. You know, you need to post. You know, you need to plug into these Zooms. You're going to start feeling that fire again. You're going to start, you know, having that inspiration again, but it's not going to stay sitting there filling your head with horrible self-talk, manifesting all the wrong things. Like, it's just not. So we all get to that point where we're like, oh, you know, we feel stuck in our heads. We feel like, you know, either comparison, or we feel like we don't really know what to do. Don't change what worked for you in the beginning. Those core 4 that I talk about, anytime I stem away from those, I mess up. I get stuck. I feel, you know, whatever. With everything that's going on right now, though, I do know it's going to give you those feelings of feeling out of control. You're going to feel anxious. You're going to feel scared. You're going, you know, we don't know what's going on. I have major control issues. So this whole COVID-19 has thrown me for a loop. I've had days where I'm like, what if it never goes back to normal? And I have to remember, no, this isn't the first outbreak. This isn't the first pandemic. You know, they've happened in the past, just not during my lifetime like this. And every single time, things move on. It may take time, but things will move on. And so, you know, I have to remind myself of that. But with all that being said, like, I get it. I get that some of our headspaces are really messed up right now. But as far as business goes, leaning into stuff like this, letting people pour into you, understanding that that is exactly what you need, understanding that that relatability of, you know, they went through the same kind of funk as me. We've all gone through them. But I will tell y'all every single time what the strength that it's going to take and the growth that it's going to take in your mind, in your headspace, in your self development, like that growth that it's going to take to get you through this funk, to get you through this whatever place that you're at right now. That is the only thing that is separating you from that next level. Like, you are not going to bring in the customers. You are not going to bring in the promoters. You are not going to have the team to take you to 4K until you get your mind right. And so the work that you're going to put into getting your mind right, that is exactly what it's going to take to go to that next level. We have said so many times, our business is self-development with a compensation plan. Like, we have said that so many times, self-development with a compensation plan. If you continually work on yourself, if you continually try to pour into you and understand how big of a impact that makes on this business, you will continue to grow. So number 1, if you're feeling stuck, pick a direction, start walking towards it. Maybe it's not to get back to a certain rank, but just, I want to complete VIP 800 before this month is over. I want to thrive for free in May. Like, nothing is too small, but pick a direction and start walking towards it. Lock arms with people that are working. We've said so many times, who are your 5 people you're surrounding yourself with? If you are surrounding yourself with 3 kids and an adult and a dog, and those are who make up your surroundings, there's a major issue. That's probably a huge part of what's happening. You've got to surround yourself with stuff like this. This is what causes you to level up. This is what causes you to match the grit and the passion of others that are in the trenches with you. So if you are leaning out and you're being surrounded by kids and a spouse and a dog, and that's it, you're not going to see the growth that you could leaning in to people that are in the same predicament as you, but are choosing to grow. That's what inspires you. That's what's going to push you. And I mean, that's what changes everything.
I love it. That's like the best advice ever. And I, I think right now everybody just needs to remember that there's so much to plug into. There's so much going on. Don't You're not alone. You know what I mean? And that's why we have this amazing big team family of people that, every night there's something that you can plug into. There's something that you can get on to at least, for an hour or 30 minutes, try to get out of your headspace. And you have people on team pages, like I just am so grateful right now that we have this business, because I think about the people that don't. I think about the people that don't have friends, that just their whole life was working, and now they're home and they're kind of like, those are the people that are probably sitting back like right now that need someone like us in their inbox saying, how are you? They just need someone to talk to vent to open up to, because nobody's asked them, how are you? I think about how grateful and super lucky all of us are that are on this Zoom right now, that we have not just Lavelle as, a company to make money, but the friendships and the connections that we've made, that I don't know about you guys, but I feel like in a time like this, I don't feel that alone. I don't feel as alone as I definitely would be if I didn't have, Lavelle and the people that are in this company in our lives. I think it's so awesome. Um, I want to end it out with tip. If I don't know, give me like your last little bit of a tip for anybody new, old, whatever, that you just feel like everyone in this industry needs needs this, whatever it is that's on your heart.
Okay, so I'm so excited that you picked me for this week because it's GOAT week. Like, it's GOAT week. What are we even doing? Whether you are watching the replay, whether you're on this right now, whether you're relaunching or you're already a millionaire, whether you have lost your entire team and went from 200K to zero. Like, I do not care where you fall in the realm of things. It's GOAT week. If you set up right, whatever announcements come Saturday, you are going to be so on fire. Even if you just have a list of 20 people that says, yeah, I want the, message me, let me know what's announced. Do you understand that if you set up and even if you just have 20 names, if two of those people say, you know what, yeah, I want to run with it, two people is all it takes to take you to that next level, whatever that next level looks like for you. Two people. So put in the time now, put in the work now. Remember, don't stay stuck. Like, no, you are worthy and you deserve so much more. Who is depending on you to make this work? Who's depending on you? Show up for them this week. Show up for them bigger than ever right now. Put in the work right now. Build your list right now. And I can promise you, come Saturday when all those announcements are made, immediately when it's over and you're able to go to work on that list, you are going to do nothing but say, thank yourself for setting up for what's about to happen. So, yeah, that's it.
And I want to thank you. That was awesome. And I want to thank you for giving me the best idea. What I'm doing today, in case you guys missed this, is I'm going to connect with some of my friends that have a lot of Facebook friends that are not doing Lavelle. And I'm going to ask them for a favor. I'm going to ask them if they will make a post on their page. I'm going to give them the post, the before and after picture, and say, my friend Lisa is looking for 3 people that want to grow their hair during quarantine. My friend Lisa, I'm going to ask for a favor. Like, y'all, your current customers, why would they not do this for you? Your friends, they don't have to spend a dime to do that for you. Like, genius. That's my job today. Like, I was thinking about what can I do different and new for my business? That's it. I have not done that. So thank you for that awesome nugget that is going to help me grow my network today. I appreciate you. And you guys, we do plug in this weekend. Make sure that you are on the GOAT training. This is the beauty. There are so many people that wanted to go to conference, couldn't afford to go to conference, and a conference is still going to happen, right? And I think now that we're seeing these trainings live and online, we're realizing how important it is that we get to the live conference once it's here. But until then, you guys have seen some of these trainings, and guess what? You're in your home. It doesn't matter if you have 50 kids there, 10 cats, and 12 neighbors over. An earbud can be in your ear while you're watching the GOAT training. It does not matter what you look like. You do not have to have your camera on. It does not matter, if you're laying in bed and eating a bowl of Doritos and you got Netflix on too.
Yeah.
Put on the GOAT training, please. Please put it on and plug in, because it's going to be amazing. There's going to be so many awesome announcements, awesome tips that you learned today from Kayla, plus so many other leaders on giving their tips. I mean, it's like, it's a dream come true. Like, it's free. Guess what? FREE. You don't have to pay a dime for the hours of knowledge that you're going to get. There just is no excuse. And I want you guys to also be thinking about your leader. If you have one person underneath of you, you are the leader. It is up to you, not them. If I counted on the people underneath of me to get me where I am today, I wouldn't be here. I count on me every day. I don't assume that they know, but that they got the email, that they're going to be there. I'm in my leaders. You all are going to be there, right? Here's the link. Make sure you're putting it out to your teams. You need to be in every single person, whether it's 1, 2, 10, 50, 500. You need to be in your people's inboxes, in your team page, like personally inviting these people and saying, you've got to be at this training Saturday. Make sure you plug into it. That is how you're going to start seeing growth. It's just like Zooms like this. How many of you made that you reached out to all of your downline and said, be on this today? It's great that you're on, guys. And I kudos to those of you guys that show up every week. But where are your people? That's where you're going to see the growth, because you can't do it alone. So, I challenge all of you guys to get out there this week and make sure that Friday night you have a list of your people, you're personally enrolled, and they're personally enrolled. That at least I would do that. You're personally and they're personally, and say, please share this with your people. Make sure you're on tomorrow. Here's the time. And then I would be messaging everybody 10 minutes before it starts and say, get on this. That's what I do. Those are the lengths I'm willing to go to make sure that people show up, because I know that it could be one thing they hear on this training, or it could be the fact that they actually showed up and they're like, wow, this is amazing. Why am I not jumping into this? Like, why am I not putting effort in? So you just so huge and cool that our corporate team has put this together, and that they don't charge for anything. I have no doubt my old company would have been like, y'all need to come watch this, 9.95. Like, I mean, how cool is it that this is free, that they're taking the time to put this together, and there's going to be announcements, excitement, and everyone can be a part of it. So happy payday. Thank you again so much, Kayla. Your tips today, your story, amazing. I know you touched a lot of people, and I also know there are people on today that learned, just like me, something they can do to implement in their business right away. Next week, you guys, we have 200K millionaire Billy Holderby as our guest. So make sure that you are plugging in, same time, same link. Plug in, tell your people. I'll see you next week. Thanks, Kayla.